Thanks for joining me, everyone. I think that it's becoming increasingly clear that President Donald Trump will be reelected, and he'll be reelected with a larger margin than the last election, possibly even a landslide. I don't see anyone stopping Donald Trump, anyone at least in this world right now. Um, who is out there on the Democratic side that really can challenge President Trump? There's only one person that maybe could challenge Trump if he was to run, and I honestly don't think he will. And that would be none other than former President Barack Obama. If Obama decided to run, and he certainly could constitutionally, then, he's got the name recognition. I honestly don't think he'll do it because, first of all, to do so would mean dredging up his entire dismal, mediocre 2 years in office under a microscope. And I don't think that would hold up very well. The scandals would not hold up very well, particularly this most recent scandal, which is the slow motion coup and the Pfizergate development against President Trump. And I also think that the American people, we want to pat Obama on the head and say thank you very much and give him a few more trophies. But I don't think the American people want to go back to that. It's old. It's in the past. It was the last gasp of the big government, authoritarian socialist move that's been on in this country for the past 100 years. And I honestly don't think that the average American really wants to go back there. President Trump, in spite of the largest onslaught by the media in history, and in spite of a slow motion coup that began unfolding the minute he was elected, which is now collapsing, has been one of the most successful presidents in my memory. I defy someone to name someone more successful. To understand Donald Trump as president, you need look no further than the Republican convention platform. President Trump is following that platform to the T in almost every aspect. Past presidents, both Democrat and Republican, have ignored the party platform. It was just viewed as a little flourish for the convention. President Trump has taken it to heart, and he's fulfilling it on so many levels, which are not obviously reported by the Trump-hating media. But yet the effects are there. The economy is improving dramatically directly because of his policies, reducing onerous regulation, reducing taxes, allowing, negotiating trade policies that favor American labor and American business. Even if those negotiations are ongoing and have not been fulfilled, they are moving the country in the right direction. They are causing positive change, both domestically in terms of business and also international relations, in terms of the way foreign businesses conduct business in this country. The result has been unprecedented job formation. President Trump has been a great international leader, even if the old, establishment is kicking and screaming. He has forced NATO to pay more for their own military apparatus and to the United States for providing support. He has virtually wiped out ISIS. Still there, but they say it's like about 98% gone. He moved the American embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, thus making a statement to the world that we recognize Israel and that we recognize that Israel has a right to its own capital and its own sovereignty. He is now going to Vietnam to meet with the North Korean dictator to talk about a denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Now, I'm sure that his enemies are going to have a few nasty little stories to drop while he's there. They're holding them, I'm sure, just to try to continue to undermine not only him, but our country. But their game is up. Their game is becoming increasingly obvious to the American people, and that's all they have. They know that if they want to legitimately oppose Trump in an election, they'll lose. So they're continuing to play this card of trying to basically subvert the administration, to try to overthrow it in an old-fashioned coup, except it's done through a high-tech means now. And it's becoming a lot more obvious. This is becoming more obvious to the American people. I mean, the Mueller report is about to drop any day with a new attorney general in town, William Barr, who's somebody that doesn't take crap from anybody, whether it be Trump or Mueller. Barr is I think, turning the screws on Mueller and saying, drop your investigation, and Mueller's about to do it because they've got a lot of goods on him and his people. These thugs who are partisan and who have a very, very murky past. I mean, Mueller, let's not even talk about Mueller and his tenure at the FBI and his tenure here in Boston, where I am. There's a lot of, nasty, nasty stuff going on with that. So I think he's about to drop the report, and I think we're going to find out when all is said and done that in spite of a couple of probably embarrassing and problematic pieces in there that are going to be rung up the flagpole as usual, they will find that there was no collusion with Russia, there was no obstruction of justice. And so the whole thing is over. The jig is up. And now, of course, the Democrats in Congress, they want to continue it, but it doesn't look right for them. So what are they going to do? They're going to pull Michael Cohen, Trump's, stooge former lawyer, in to embarrass Trump and say things that he did as a businessman and maybe attack his children. That's great, They're going to just feast on that for a few days. And it's just going to become increasingly obvious that these things are, first of all, they're not relevant to this presidency. There's stuff that happened before Trump was in office. And there's probably nothing illegal. This might be embarrassing. Who knows? He was a businessman who liked to do things that maybe seem a little unconventional. Let's just put it that way. But they've got nothing. They're just persecuting him. Same thing with the New York Attorney General, who said she's going to look at every single person who's ever done business with Trump, his family, his friends, his associates. Talk about, what is this? A dictatorship, where you have some junta come in and go after enemies. I mean, this is, it smacks of the most ugly police state tactics, the most un-American approaches. And even people on the left who have a few scruples and who have a couple of shades of conscience left in them are going to recoil from this kind of stuff. And I don't think that, I'm not sure the Democrats know that, but they're going to find out if they continue to pursue it. It's going to be ugly for them, and it's going to further sink them into what I hope is many, many decades of obscurity. They can't run on Trump hatred because it's not there. With all their efforts every day with these false stories and these exaggerated big breaking news. I get a note from the Boston Globe, breaking news, a special alert, an email. Michael Cohen's going to testify. These are nothing stories. They're going to put poor Paul Manafort in prison for life. That's nice, right? I mean, they've got nothing, in other words. The economy is humming. The Trump revolution is moving forward, or the counter-revolution, I should say. And, it's like Ronald Reagan when he ran for his second term. A new day is dawning in America. I know it sounds like a cliche, but that's what's going on. That's what we're going to be seeing. And I say hallelujah. God bless President Trump. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your service and for the fact that you've put yourself out there in spite of this ugly, hateful campaign against you and your family. I'm honored to support you, and I pray for your safety every day. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great afternoon.